In a world that spins incessantly, a young adult finds themselves caught in a relentless tide of anxiety, where each day blurs into the next. They wake up to the sharp ring of an alarm, a jarring reminder of responsibilities that loom like dark clouds overhead. The weight of expectations, both external and self-imposed, presses heavily upon their shoulders. The relentless pressure from work intertwines with the complexities of personal relationships, creating a web of tension that feels increasingly stifling. It is as though their very essence is held captive in a prison of their own making. The struggle becomes evident, a silent battle waged in the confines of their mind and heart. As the person moves through each day, they wear a mask of composure, hiding the turmoil that churns beneath the surface. In meetings, they smile and nod, yet inside, a storm rages, fueled by self-doubt and fear of inadequacy. The smiles become an act, a performance that demands more energy than they possess. Friends reach out, and though they long for connection, the burden of vulnerability feels too great to bear. They shy away, retreating further into the shadows of isolation. The anxiety grows, swelling like a tide that threatens to swallow them whole. Amid this chaos, a flicker of realization begins to emerge. They recognize the toll of their struggles, the emotional and physical exhaustion that gnaws at their spirit. The lack of self-control manifests in restless nights, fleeting moments of joy overshadowed by overwhelming dread. Simple tasks become mountains, and what once brought pleasure now feels like an obligation. Each decision weighs heavily, as if they are walking a tightrope, balancing their desires against the fear of failure. In this moment of reflection, they begin to question the path they have taken. Perhaps it is not the world that must change, but rather the way they navigate its currents. A glimmer of ancient wisdom starts to whisper amidst the noise, a philosophy that speaks of self-control as the key to inner peace. The teachings of sages long past come to mind, echoing softly, almost as if the universe itself is guiding them towards an understanding yet to be fully grasped. Self-control is not simply about restraint. It is an invitation to reclaim their power, to steer their life rather than be swept away by chaos. But how does one begin this journey? The struggle is palpable. In the quiet moments before slumber, when the events of the day replay in their mind, the weight of unfulfilled potential becomes suffocating. Nights slide into dawns without rest, and the cycle continues, looping like a broken record. A moment of clarity strikes, an emotional collision ignited by the realization that something must change. It is an epiphany tinged with despair, a harsh recognition that they have become a prisoner of their own making. As anxiety churns within, the realization swells into a tidal wave, crashing against the fragile shore of their emotional state. They feel the pain of unfulfilled dreams and missed opportunities pressing down like a vice. The world feels unbearably heavy, and in that moment of emotional collapse, the facade crumbles, revealing the raw vulnerability beneath. Tears spill forth, an unguarded release that comes as a shock, flooding their cheeks. It is a moment suspended in time, where the weight of the world feels as though it might finally evaporate, leaving only the essence of their humanity behind. And in the midst of this turmoil, a subtle shift begins to unfold, as if the universe itself pauses to listen. The air thickens with possibility, the kind that stirs the soul into action. It is in this moment of surrender, this emotional nadir, that the wise master arrives. Cloaked in a calm demeanor, they approach with a presence that feels both grounding and ethereal. Their eyes carry the weight of countless stories, reflections of wisdom gleaned from years of observation and experience. They do not speak immediately, allowing the silence to settle like a gentle embrace. After a pause that stretches between them, the master breaks the stillness with a few words that pierce through the cloud of despair. "What binds you?" they ask, their tone soft yet laced with an urgency that beckons reflection. It is a question that lingers, weaving through the fabric of the person's consciousness, igniting a flicker of curiosity amidst the darkness. As if by design, the encounter brings forth a calm energy that begins to soothe the frayed edges of their spirit. The master's presence is a balm, a gentle reminder that amidst chaos, there exists a path to tranquility, yet the nature of that journey remains undefined, waiting to be unveiled. As the young adult navigates this new connection, a sense of intrigue stirs within, a desire to explore the depths of self-control as a means to forge a new reality. They feel the stirring of hope, a seed planted where despair once thrived. This moment marks the beginning of a profound journey, one that may lead them toward healing and self-discovery. The path ahead is shrouded in uncertainty, Yet the realization that there is a way forward, a way to reclaim their lost self, ignites a small flame of determination. As the master offers a silent invitation to explore these depths, they stand on the precipice of transformation. The words exchanged, though few, echo in the chambers of their mind, igniting a curiosity that yearns to understand, to learn, and to grow. What lies ahead is unknown, but the quest for self-control will illuminate shadows that have long overshadowed their spirit. In this quiet moment, a new chapter begins, and the journey toward inner peace stretches out before them like an uncharted river, ready to be navigated. In the stillness that follows emotional collapse, the wise master stands before the young adult, a silent anchor amidst the storm. The air around them seems charged with unspoken possibilities, as if the universe is holding its breath, waiting for a spark of understanding to ignite. With a calm presence that transcends words, the master gazes into the depths of the young adult's turmoil, seeing not just the chaos but the potential for transformation. It is in this moment of connection that the first seeds of insight are sown, the realization that the river of life flows continuously, shaping and reshaping the landscape of existence. Can you see it? The master finally asks, their voice a gentle current in the turbulent sea of thoughts. Your struggles are like a river, ever flowing, ever changing. Do you resist its course, or do you learn to navigate it? The question hangs in the air, heavy with meaning. The young adult feels the weight of it settle deep within, stirring a recognition that has long been dormant. As they close their eyes, the vision of a river begins to take form in their mind. They imagine the water, glistening under the sun, winding its way through valleys and over rocks, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce. They see how it carves its path, not by force, but through persistence and adaptability. The river does not fight against obstacles, it flows around them, finding new ways to continue its journey. In this moment of visualization, a profound shift occurs. The young adult begins to understand that their struggles are not the enemy, but rather a natural part of the flow of life. Each challenge is a stone in the river, an opportunity for growth and understanding. With this newfound clarity, they reflect on the moments of anxiety, the suffocating weight of expectations. What if these were simply ripples in the water? What if they could learn to embrace the ebb and flow of their emotions, rather than resist them? This realization begins to dissolve the barriers they have built, allowing light to seep through the cracks. The river of their emotions no longer feels like a turbulent tide threatening to drown them. Instead, it becomes a source of strength. They breathe deeply, allowing the image to wash over them, bringing a sense of peace that had felt elusive. Each time anxiety rises, they return to the river, reminding themselves of its fluidity, its resilience. They learn to identify the currents of their emotions, recognizing when they are being swept away by fear or self-doubt. With practice, they discover the ability to steer themselves back toward calm waters. The transformation is gradual, yet palpable. Friends notice a change, a lightness in their demeanor that wasn't there before. Conversations become deeper, more authentic. The young adult begins to open up, sharing their experiences and vulnerabilities, realizing that connection is not a burden but a bridge to understanding. They find solace in the shared struggles of others, discovering that the river of life flows through everyone, carrying both joy and pain. As clarity deepens, they come to understand a vital truth. True power lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering their own response. Each decision, they acknowledge the struggles that remain, but they face them with a newfound confidence. They understand that self-control is a gift, a way to honor their own emotions.